What is going on, guys? DBG here. In this video we're going to be doing a gameplay with the new Stacey Augmon Pink Diamond card. Apologies for the lack of live commentary and the fact I have to post-com. Obviously there has been issues in previous videos with my audio, and unfortunately those issues are still kind of happening sometimes. Maybe 1 out of every 5 times I record audio there's a problem, but every time I record it through my video editing software it seems to be fine, so fingers crossed this is okay. There's been no problems with it any other times I've done it, so it should be okay. So if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We're trying to hit 200,000 subscribers as soon as possible, and honestly we'd really greatly appreciate if you subscribe. But anyway, so the team we're running with is one of the best teams in the game. We're going with Edwards at the 2, Isaac at the 1, mainly because Isaac's really just a cone and Edwards is probably a better 3-hunter, better scorer than Kevin Durant. And a big reason why we're using Stacey Augmon is I think because of how bad the other cards were in the set, people have kind of not even looked at how good this card is, and I honestly do believe he is one of the more underrated cards we've seen in quite a long time. So yeah, we are going to be going over stats right now. 98-99, so his stats are quite good. He's 6'8" and can play the 2, which is quite tall. Yeah, obviously there are a lot taller players who can play the 2 and the 3 at this stage in the game. However, like, we can't necessarily call 6'8" a small 2 guard. Like, that's just kind of a ridiculous statement to make. As well as that, I think he could actually be quite cheap. A lot of these guys, while yeah, they might be expensive today, cards like Harrington are 5k MT only a few days after they get released. So there's a good chance that a card like this drops down to only 5k MT, which is really great. So he's got 33 Hall of Fame badges. He's got Quick Draw, he's got Clamps, he's got Heart Crusher, Interceptor, he's got Intimidator, which is huge. One fairly big downside is that he doesn't have Half Range Extender. And the thing with Half Range Extender is that you can always get away with gold, but you have to be a lot more selective with your shots in gold range. You got to be a lot more selective what you shoot, what you don't shoot, things like that. However, he does a pretty decent 3-pointer, a really great driving dunk, got a good ball handle, and he's got actually pretty decent sigs. Great block rating, not great interior defense, which doesn't matter. Great or pretty good speed, pretty decent perimeter defense, and good enough ladder quickness. Unfortunately, only a 50 on-ball steal tendency, but an 80 shot contest, which is quite good. But you know what? 50 is bang average. Like there's some players that you can survive with, like obviously McHale has like a 17, you can survive with that. Like tendencies, honestly, like it makes a difference. It makes a difference, especially for things like smothering and ball handler. However, like it wouldn't be a reason to call a card bad if the tendency isn't great. Like even someone like a Batum has got 30. So anyway, now we're gonna get the hot zones and release. So he's actually got a lot of not hot zones, which is kind of rare for a card nowadays, but at the same time, it's not too big a deal. So his release is base 40. So I'm gonna say this right now, like this game I struggle with his release. I struggle with his release throughout the video, but I'm telling you right now, base 40 is Nick Batum's. It is a really easy release. Like the thing is, like it's Bruce Bowen's release, it's Michael Cooper's release, it's Batum's release, it is Derek Fisher's release, Tim Hardaway's release. I'm a huge fan of base 40. So even though I did kind of struggle with it in this game, it's basically the exact same timing as a Derek Fisher jump shot, who I feel is actually a really good shooter. Although obviously he's a bit smaller, so his jumper's a bit faster. So he's got long athlete hop step, so he does have the best hop step in the game. So if he is in a situation where hop step is needed, he's basically got the Giannis hop step, which will help a lot. His shooting, again, while he's not going to pull from that range right there, that's definitely too far for him. He still will be a pretty decent shooter. His between the legs is not good, so I'm going to say. He's got the Pro 6 behind the back, which is actually not bad at all. Not the greatest in the world, but not terrible. However, his between the legs is awful. Like, it's slow, you can't, well, you can chain it, but like, who really is going to chain that? You don't get much space off it. So that is one kind of, for me anyway, that is one pretty big negative of him, is that the tween is just not, it is just not great. At this stage in the game, almost every card is Pro 8 or Pro 2, so it is quite big. And if they don't have Pro 8 or Pro 2, they've got Pro 7, which is the Michael Jordan, which is the Momentum Cross. So yeah, like the tween's not great. However, the behind the back of Pro 6 is really good. Again, it's not Pro 3, it's not normal 2, but it's a lot better than Pro 1. That's all I'm gonna say. So release, again, he's gonna be a guy that shoots the ball well. A card that I would kind of compare him to in terms of effectiveness in game, and I don't mean that these cards are the same, but he'll have the same effectiveness as a Gerald Green. He does a lot of very similar things to Gerald Green, except he plays the 2 guard position and his release is maybe that little bit slower. But he'll be like the 2 guard equivalent of a Gerald Green, especially if he's cheap. Like, I would not spend more than 20k on this card, straight up. I wouldn't. But at the same time, he's Wilson Chandler level, if not higher. And that's big. Like, that is definitely big for a mid-tier / cheap guard, depending on his price. And as time goes on, just like with Chandler, just like with Al Harrington's a beast, and he's 5k MT. So just like with those cards, as time goes on, he's going to go down in price. So anyway, now let's just green 1-3. And now let's get on to the game. So anyway, in this game, we're playing as a not great team. However, apart from LaMelo Ball, his team's pretty good. And I'm going to say this right now, I did not want to just run by LaMelo Ball in this game. And I could tell one possession into this game that he knew what he was doing. Like, again, I'm not going to say that this was some spectacular player we came up against. As we go and Mr. White right there, we struggle big time with his release in these games. I'm going to say that right now. However, he knew how to play the game. And that's one of the things. Did I feel at any stage like I was going to lose this game? Not really. But at any stage, did I feel like, okay, I can just play completely brain dead and hit a wide open 3 every single time? Not really either. So a very slow start to the game right here as he goes and picks up a big steal. His wingspan actually seems quite decent. I don't think it's like extendo arms decent. It's not like LaMelo Ball wingspan, but it's not terrible. Although LaMelo Ball looks about 7 foot tall in game. Like, he is the best point. His opal is the best point guard in the game, and it's not even close in my opinion. But yeah, and as we go down right here and green a moving shot. The moving shot is quite an easy one to time as well, which is good. And again, we are just out here shooting slightlies. One positive sign that I felt was, one, it was hard to get a shot off because this guy was smothering augmon the whole game. But everything was a slightly. Like, that one was an early right there. That one was just bad. But almost everything we did in this game ended up being a slightly. When he got to the basket, man, these dunks were unbelievable. Like, the amount of times he dunked on people. And at the same time, when he was wide open for jumpers, while I wasn't greening, the fact that it was slightly early, slightly late is a good sign. It means that I'm just rusty with him. I'm just that little, it's just my timing's a little bit off, and it's a good sign. Again, I know I've shot 2 earlies in a row, but if you're constantly shooting slightlies, I feel like it's a good sign that you're not that far off perfecting the release. And it's only a couple of games away from getting that release down. Because obviously this is the first time I've used a card like I've used this card in the game. As he goes and triggers a really good hop step right there. This third quarter though, to start it, man, he finally came into himself. A ridiculous pass right there due to the lack of icon passing, not hitting the guy who was wide open. Lucky, we were very lucky we didn't turn the ball over there. And we get a defensive 3 seconds to key. So at this stage in the game, we are up by 9 points, and man, this guy didn't make it sub, but he kept it close. I'm going to admit that. He kept it close, especially in my bench lineup. I thought I was going to blitz him, and he did a good job. But one thing I noticed, he was letting me go to the basket. So you know what I'm doing? I'm going to be dunking it. We straight away go and steal the ball there, and I kind of panicked because I thought he was out of bounds, and we shoot it slightly, but it goes in. Again, Gatorade symbol straight to the basket, and one dunk over LaMelo, he quit. And we're going into TTO. So this game right here was a very easy one. Like, there was no chance we were losing. 2 behind the backs, right to the basket, and he jams it over his Pink Diamond Kobe, who legitimately is one of the worst cards in the game. You go right down, and we shoot the white. So everything kind of has stayed the same by the looks of things. We go and get a steal right there. And finally, we green on a wide open 3. We green the moving, but finally we green that. So it was honestly, I think it was an unfortunate gameplay more than anything. I don't think it was a case of this being a bad release. I think, like, I will be the first to admit it was just me mistiming it, because it's not a bad release. There are certain releases, just like in the Jokic gameplay. I think I greened 7 shots in a row with Jokic to start off that game, and I'll admit that that's a bad release. And then there's a game like this where he's gone, obviously, where I will be whiting every single shot, but I will admit it's a good release. So anyway, that is the video. Stacey Augmon, honestly is a good card. He is a really good card. All depending on his price. Well, like, it's all dependent on his price whether to buy him or not. If he ends up being cheap, or heck, even if he's around the 15k MT range, for that price you're getting a 6'8" dude who's a really solid defender, also a really solid but not spectacular shooter, a great dunker who's got a pretty good behind the back. You're getting a just solid glue guy / cone. And obviously, memes aside, in terms of what you're getting a Nick Batum type guy, except he's probably going to be a little bit better as a shooter and perimeter defender, but a little bit worse at playing in lanes. So you're getting a player very much the standard of a Nick Batum, who is still, which is exceptional. You're getting basically a Wilson Chandler type. Could he be better than Wilson Chandler? Yes, but I'm not going to say he's objectively better. That's all preference. So you are getting a really good player right here for Stacey Augmon. Would I spend more than 20k on him? No. Especially because I think something big is coming tomorrow, I think it's either going to be Prime on buzzer beaters tomorrow with something good, or Prime on Friday. Or Prime tomorrow and fan favorites or something on Friday. I think this is a big week, so I wouldn't spend too much MT on him. However, if you are starting out the game and things are cheap, I think it'll be quite good. So anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.
I think you only love me cause I'm poppin'. This a layup, this a rebound, then it's robbing. Tyson with the fade, not the hair, my hands rocking. When I link with ball point, you know it's not.